Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio and 100 Days of Gel Print Landscapes. How are you doing today? I'm doing good today. I have today off. Took it off because I got a wedding to go to. But I thought I would quickly do a little video editing. Not anything to get dirty, just no messing with paint today, unfortunately. Have to save that for the weekend, I guess. So, last time I talked about mixing paint with the mother color, and that's where you pick one color and you mix it with every color you use on your print. And this video, I wrote things down. Sorry about the noise. That's my prints over here, and I wrote the stuff on the back. So, for this particular print, I'm using Amsterdam acrylic. It's the Expert on clearance at Michael's. If you're lucky, there may still be some. I did check again this last weekend, and none of the Michael's I was near had any left. Well, one of them did. I found a pink. So that may show up in a future landscape. If I go back to Amsterdam, I'm doing colors in groupings of paint type. And when I get back to Amsterdam again, I will add the pink because it could be the mother color. Anyway, the mother color is where you take one color and you mix it with every color in your painting. This way, it's the jelly print. And then it makes things more, I want to say, homogeneous. Now, I do have a little bit of issue with contrasts. I have to work on contrasts in my paintings, like add a little more dark and a little more light. But for this particular print, I'm using permanent yellow medium as the mother. So for the background and everything, I did a little indigo, a lot of white, and just a touch of the permanent yellow. Got an interesting green color for the background, but it's okay. I added the graphite to the first layer to create a little grunge. I like me some grunge. And then, yeah, I used a lot of the permanent green light that I have and indigo. Did I use any burnt sienna on this? I can't remember. I did mention in my last video, if you would like to see me mixing the colors, I can add that. I've just been editing that out for time because I'm trying to do multiples in one day. And this video is a little longer for me. It does have 4 prints on it. Normally, I think 3 would be enough, but the 4th one was an experiment comparison. So, I mean, if you're bored with this, the last 2 are an interesting experiment regarding a mother color. Anyway, just in case you want to run to the end. I do not have them time-stamped. I haven't tried to figure that out yet. So, maybe I will. I tried to straighten my bottom, and so ended up with a little green down there, but we'll just take some of this color and, making it look like, this one I didn't really do reflection, so it doesn't necessarily need to look like water, but that's kind of, maybe it's a field with, waves of grain or something on there. There's that one. Got a little bit of the lighter color in that dark green area, but it's okay. Okay, so this next one, my mother color is yellow ochre. And this one is really minimal. I'm using titanium white so I can lighten things, yellow ochre as the mother color, and indigo. that's it. I wanted to do, the shades of blue where you go from light to dark, to create atmospheric perspective. And I really, this one and the last one that I just did are a couple of my favorites so far. You'll have to let me know which one you like the best, but yeah, I really like how this one turns out. So if you're unfamiliar with atmospheric perspective, which you probably all know about it, it's the way the atmosphere makes distant objects appear less clear and more like the background. So it's like light scattering and dust and pollen and other particles in the atmosphere scatter light rays from the sun so that there's a loss of detail and it sort of looks hazy in the background. Blue light penetrates the atmosphere most easily, so distant objects appear more blue. And they have, you get loss of detail. Objects in the distance appear less detailed and have less contrast. So that was the idea behind this one. And I do like to play with a little atmospheric perspective. And like I said, this one, of course, I love blue. Even though this one has a little yellow ochre tint to it because of the mother color. I should try doing this style without the mother color and see how it turns out. But I do, I am happy with this one. I got to the bottom and I'm like, what am I going to do with the bottom half? Because I didn't do reflection and I didn't want to do what I did on the last one, which was just add like ripple effect, So I like what I end up doing with this one on the bottom part. Could be a river or a dark path. You'll see. So these are the low hills in the foreground. And maybe this one has more contrast. It's still not real contrasty. Like I said, that is a struggle for me. Especially when I'm experimenting with paint colors, not necessarily thinking of how dark or light they are. It's all a learning process, right? All right, I did want one dark line at the bottom. And it doesn't line up right underneath the last piece because, I'm not a perfect aim. But I kind of like having a little light edge. So you'll see. So I put this on here. And there's just like a little light peeking out behind. So it could be, I don't know. It makes it interesting. But now I'm like, what do I do with the bottom of that? I don't know what to do with it. So I decided to just take some shapes and block a little bit of the area. I was kind of thinking, those are hills. And they could be in the background color a little bit. And then this could be like a valley, but it's so blue. I think most people would interpret it as a bit of a river. which is okay because these are abstract landscapes, right? These are gel print landscapes without using paint on the gel plate. So I have some Q-tips that are all rubber band together. They're coated with paint because I've used them multiple times. They're kind of like a permanent thing now. And I just added them with some of the mixture that was already on my mixing palette and created, I don't know, some plant life. So there's that one. All right, so the next one is the first one in a two print experiment. So I did do these both on the same day, but they're counting as 2 different days because I have to get ahead of myself anyway because I am going to be going on a trip. Not for a while, but hey, you know, every extra day works. So the colors on this one they're Amsterdam Expert Acrylics, except for the white is just Artist Loft white. So we have indigo, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, permanent lemon yellow, permanent green light. Now the permanent green light is the mother color. I left this part in. So I'm just taking a little bit of that green and some burnt sienna. I think I add a little white. Yeah, to lighten it up. And that's going to be our mountain. I think I already did the background, which was a teeny bit of the permanent green light, some indigo and some white. That's all I did for the background. And I'm saving the papers that are masking for the mountains. And I am doing the reflection sort of idea. I'm saving them so that both prints are going to have the same silhouette, same colors, except for the second print I'm doing without doing the mother. So we can look at them side by side. I mean, they're not like 100% perfect because I am adding white to them. So they might be, and brayering things on and off, like, could go heavier on some instances and lighter in some instances, but it'll be an interesting comparison. So this one I did permanent green light, and I think I added a little bit of the lemon yellow. Now I think I'm going for the horizon line. Which I took the same mixture and added a little bit more lemon yellow to it. Got interrupted. Did you hear the dog bark? He wanted back in the house. So I had to go let him in. So I decided, that was pretty boring. So I add a little indigo to what's on the mixing palette already. And I figured that counts as mixing with the mother color. And we're just going to create a darker line. And then, of course, we're going to get some wave action going. A little glopey there. Just trying to get that off so it's semi-straight. I mean, this is nature. It's not going to be perfect, right? And then I just print the rest of that on there. Kind of messy. Messy, messy. So I'm going to add some lighter color. And I think it's just plain white. I don't think I add anything to it. So there's that one. Now the next one is, so that's just indigo and white. And of course there's stuff on the plate already, so it does pull up stuff from the plate. So there's always something going on back there. Unless I clean it off, which I hardly ever do. I do if it builds up on the edges or if I really need a clean plate for something. But for this, I'm embracing the imperfections. There were a lot of lines, so I decided that's the bottom. Already lines in my thing. And I'm using the exact same papers to mask off and clean up my mess. And this one, I think it's just sienna and some white, right? Yeah, I think I was going for more. Oh, I added a little, that was some matte medium just to thin it, make it go a little further. It was feeling very thick. Does it look the same? I think in the first one, I brayered off more, a little bit more than in this one. So the paint is on there a little bit heavier. And I think that's quite noticeable. Now this part, since it's not a perfect lineup, I'm guessing. But I mean, it for the most part, it's pretty much the same. And then this is just the permanent green light and some white. I believe that's all I put on there. If I did white, I mean, that might just be the permanent green light. I can't remember now. Whoop. Colors are definitely more intense, even though I didn't use like really intense colors, but they are definitely more intense. And this one, I just did the light, the lemon yellow. I brayered it so it thinned it out quite a bit. So this one isn't as punchy as it could have been. I don't know why I'm rubbing everywhere. It's just the one spot. Okay, now I'm adding a dark line. And this is the indigo. And I didn't brayer this one, so it's going to be nice and dark. And it is dark. And then just dabbing it everywhere, like the last one. And now I'm going to add the white marks to make it look like water reflecting. So I'll hold up the two together. They don't really fit on my screen very well. I'll try side by side. So you can see the comparison. This is really interesting to try this way. I mean, not very scientific, of course. But see, there's the two. Different, right? Which one do you like better? They're not my favorite print to begin with, but I think I like the one mixed with the mother better. Maybe if I'd had a little more paint when I pulled the prints, it would be stronger. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think? Are you liking my 100-day project? I thought it was an interesting thing to try. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.